I'm going to do is for this box, I'm going to ping 192.168.1.150, okay? So it's pinging all right. But it was the same box that we had established the passwordless connection, okay? We ran through these things here, right? We did SSH keygen, okay? And then I showed you where the private and public key is, okay? And then we ran this command to copy it. So let's go into this folder here. So cd/root/.ssh authorized keys. cd/root.ssh. Okay, and then we authorized keys is the file here. Okay, so I'm gonna go. So it has authorized keys set up already here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, since we have already set up the passwordless, I'm gonna do SSH and this IP address. It should not ask us the password here. Okay. But the IP address has changed since last time, so we'll see if it's going to allow that or not. Okay, yes. Yeah, it's not allowing. That's a security feature because the IP has changed since then, or maybe it's a different box. Yeah, well, I'm not worried about it, so don't worry about this example here. So what I'm going to do is we'll set up the SSH connection from the scratch, okay, for the 6 computers. Power off the machine. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is we'll just follow the same process here for establishing SSH. So what you have to do is on this server, you have to set up SSH Keygen. Okay, let's follow this process here. Okay, so run the command SSH Keygen, okay? Clear SSH Keygen. It's all one word. SSH hyphen Keygen is a command. Okay, and then I'm gonna hit enter. So it's telling enter the file in which to save the key. Okay, so this is a default one. If there is not one, it will create one. Okay, more than likely there is one here because we already have created one earlier. So what I'm going to do is just simply hit enter here at this moment. Okay, and then enter the paraphrase. So normally just hit enter here, enter the paraphrase again, hit enter. Okay, so what happened is it created a security key token. So if we go in here, in this folder, there should be two keys here, ID RSA and ID underscore RSA public. One is a private key, other one is a public key. So let me copy this first. Okay, and I'll do SSH. And if I do ls -l, so for now, let's understand this here. So it created a ID. The file was created already, since we had already created this one here. So it will add to this in here. So let's see if it added in there or not. So it added a fingerprint in here, right? So how many fingerprints it got? So since it was already there, I don't think it created a new one, okay? And let's take a look at this one here. Yeah. It didn't create the new one here, so it's using the existing one. Okay, so these files are created here. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna copy the fingerprint to the other server so that we don't have any password each time they're gonna ask you. For the first time it will probably ask for the password. Next time around it won't. Okay, so before that we have these IP addresses, right? So I have these IP addresses. Let me make sure I could ping them. Ping 192.168.1.85 185. Okay, I could ping the first one. Second one is 78. Okay, third one is 99. Okay, and then fourth one is 92. Fifth one is 31. And the sixth one is 34. So in this demonstration, I'm gonna just work with only 6 of those, okay? Not 10, because I'm running out of memory. My computer is. So let's do this here. So to copy the key from one place to another place, this is the command you use. Copy ID, SSH copy ID, and then the IP address, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do SSH hyphen copy ID. SSH copy hyphen ID, okay? And I'm gonna give root at, because I want to be able to connect as root here, okay? So 192.168.1.185. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, it's gonna say for the first time, are you sure you're gonna want this? Yes. And then it's gonna ask you for the password for the first time. You give the password. And now try logging into a machine with the root and check to make sure only key you wanted are loaded. Okay, so now let me copy this here. So if I do, I'm going to clear this. If I do SSH 192.168.1.185, okay, when I hit enter, it should not ask me for the password, okay? There you go. It did not ask me for the password, and you could see it did change it. The host name. All right. Everybody agree with me? Please, one of you let me know. You saw what I just did. Okay, good. Yeah. Say that again.
Copy that.
Okay, good. So guys, I'm telling you, these are the skills. Once you get hired here, you will be working on a very important servers. That's why you will be getting paid big money. The minimum is $50 an hour, minimum. Okay. Some of the places you might end up working is Facebook, Google, Apple, Netflix, military, NASA, what else? Big universities, they have the supercomputers there. All those are running on Linux. Okay. All right, good. So you saw what happened here. Okay, so I'm gonna type exit. If I type exit here, it will go back to its own box. Okay. So I'm not gonna repeat that here. I copied it here. So this is the command. Okay, establish passwordless. Okay, you guys get the idea here. Okay, so what I'll do is okay. So now check the passwordless is working. Now I'm gonna simply repeat for all of them. Okay, repeat for rest of them. Okay, you should be able to write a script to repeat all this for all this for other 10 servers here, but we're not worried about it, so I'm gonna just do it manually. So I do this here and I change the IP address to 78. Okay, so let me copy this here. Okay, so let me grab this here. What I needed is this servers here. Okay, very first time is gonna say yes, and then you give the password for the very first time. Okay, so connection is just set up. So what I could do is I simply do SSH. I don't even do root. Okay, I'm logged in. I'm gonna exit. I'm gonna clear this, and instead of 78.99, okay, and I'm gonna hit enter once. I'm gonna say yes, and it's asking for the password. I provide the password, and I type again. I'm gonna just test it here. Okay, there you go. It's working. 99 is done. Let's do 92. I'm gonna expand this so that you could see it better here. $99, then $92. Okay. So I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna put it down here and hit enter. Is it saying yes? Oh, you need to do that. And it's gonna ask you for the password here. And then I'm gonna try to SSH into it. Okay, and it worked without, it didn't ask for the password here. That's what the idea is. Okay, 92 is done, and let's do 131. And hit enter. And are you sure? Yes. And password. And then I'm going to say SSH. Okay, and it worked. It worked without asking us a password here, okay? Now the last one, 134. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. And password. Okay, and it says this here, so we're gonna let me copy this first here before I forget. And I'm gonna do SSH in here. Okay, now you see it so it did its deed here, and it connected without password here to the last one. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so now Now the passwordless is complete. Now the Ansible commands begin here. These are Ansible. Now the Ansible commands begin here. Let me change this to Ansible Ad Hoc Commands. Okay, so what does Ansible Ad Hoc Commands means? Ad hoc means you're just running single commands here. You're not running multiple commands here. You're not running a script, okay? So now what happens is, here's the command format here. Before that, let me go ahead and copy all this here. So let me paste it in here. Okay, so Okay, good. So now let's work on the ad hoc commands. So what is ad hoc commands? Um, you know what? Hold on. Before that, I'll do that later. So what is ad hoc commands? Ad hoc command is the command you run at the moment here. Okay, so all right, let's see here. So this is how the Ansible works here, right? Ad hoc command. So what is the command it takes is you have to give it you have to say Ansible. Okay, that's the name of a command. And all means all the servers -m and then name of the command ping, P-I-N-G. Okay, so what happened is provided host list is empty, only local host is available. Okay, so what is it doing here? Before that, let me just break down the command here, okay? So the command is so first command is Ansible, and then all means all the servers, -m and ping. We'll see what a -m means, okay? So this is a command. All servers have all means all the servers in the list. And the bash command, the regular Linux command. Okay, so now let's do this here. So let's find out what -m means. I thought I knew that. Yeah, M means module. So module, what is module? Built-in module. Built-in module. So what Ansible did is it kind of made a modules here. So ping is a module. Ping is a command, right? To us, to the Linux people, the ping is nothing but a simple good old command here. But what happened here is they used -m means module is it has Ansible created a built-in modules here, okay, for each commands. So you will understand what exactly module means in a moment here, okay? So let's see. So now, but it gave us an error here, right? So what file it is running? What file it's reading from? So let's go up here. I think I had mentioned earlier that it reads a configuration file, and at the same time it reads the etc Ansible host file here, okay? So let's go in that host file and figure it out what it is, okay? So I'm gonna go vi/etc/Ansible hosts and hit enter. So what do you see in here is here you see all these are the hosts here, list of servers here. So what I'm gonna do here is all these are commented out, right? So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna say insert, and I'm gonna put in the servers here, IP addresses of the servers here. All of them we have configured here. I'm gonna remove the name here because the DNS is not set up yet. So I have to remove the name, then I'll show you better a little bit, okay? I'm gonna save and exit. Okay, now what is gonna run now is Ansible -m ping. So let's see here. Okay, see now what it did was when you're getting output like this, that means it's working. So what Ansible did was it connected to this server and then get the response ping. As long as it says success, that means it's pinging the server here. It went to 131, 185. So all the servers here. Where is it getting all this information here? From this file here. We just put all the servers in this file here. This file is very important. Okay? So what you could actually do is X. Let's go into this file here, cd/. So I'm going to copy host.backup. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to host files and I'm going to delete all this here. All this is not needed. This is just an example here. You got the backup file as an example, right? Then you do vi hosts. And then in there, simply put in the password there, all the files in there. Delete all the existing line. And put in the IP addresses. That's it. That's all you need, nothing else. Okay, so let's see here. Everybody with me so far, right? I'm going to give it a 2-minute pause and let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so let's move forward here. Okay, so I'll explain you. Okay, so we have a system modules here, right? So these are some you could relate into it here, but let's look at the one that says ping. So what Ansible has done is pre-created a lot of stuff for you. Okay, instead of doing a complex command ping, it will tell you here that if this is going to work here, string is ping, and then success returned is success, value provided with data parameter. Okay. Oh, anyway, don't worry about that here for now. So what I'm going to do is we're going to run a bunch of other commands and see how this is going to work here, okay? So we ran ping. So if you look at the document here, the ping command, what is it supposed to do? You type ping and then returned is success. So it says, it gives you the IP address and returned is success. Okay, and if it would have not been successful, it would give you some other message. So this is a sample, it's gonna give you pong. We type ping and then the response is pong. Ping pong. Okay. All right, let's move on. So now let's go ahead and see the uptime. Let's go ahead and see the uptime on these servers here, okay? Ansible. Okay, now uh, alright, so there is another module called let's see here. So I'm gonna say ping module, okay? I'm gonna say ping module, and this is how it works here. Ansible all -m ping. So when we give -m, we're using the module ping. Why is it say module here than the regular command? Because what is happening here is Ansible built in a lot of hard work for us, and they say it's a module ping, okay? And hit enter. When you do that, it will connect to all the servers here. Where is it going to connect to? Can somebody tell me which file it's reading all this from? etc host file, okay? Command, so I should make it clear here. It's reading from cat etc Ansible hosts, okay? Now by the way, you could put in thousands of servers in here, okay? It will work. It will take all the servers listed in here automatically here. So it's automatically reading the file hosts. Okay, so hopefully that makes it clear here. So the ping module, this is what it does. You will do it, and I'm just going to put one example here, not all of them. And this is the response here, okay? Now there is another module called shell module, okay? This is very popular. I like it. Shell module. And what it does is you could use this as a shell and then pass another command in there, okay? So what I'm going to do is Ansible all -m, and which shell I'm going to use? SHELL. Name of the module is shell. And then -a, and then in quotes you could use the other commands here. So what is it doing here is gonna, this command Ansible will connect to each server and then run each command in the quotes. So what you could do is you could do uptime. Okay, so let's see if uptime is the built-in module here. Okay, so uptime is not a built-in module here. But if you type uptime here, it's working. And if you log in here, you type uptime, it's working here, right? What Ansible did is it created a module called, because they don't want to create a silly module for all the silly commands here. So what they did is they created a module called shell. And what it's going to do is it's going to take care of all the commands for you, okay? So most of the time I use shell a lot. So you type Ansible all -m telling which module to use. We're using module shell, okay? And then -a, that means accept, okay? And in here I could type uptime. Okay, what it should do is it will go and grab this information here, uptime information. For how many servers? All the 6 servers. Okay. Okay, did you notice that it stopped at, it brought 5 back and it waited for the 6th one to complete, right? There was a little hiccup. I'll tell you why. Okay, so I didn't get to see that there. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6th one. It took a little longer for a 6th one to complete. Why did it do that? Because Ansible by default is gonna go do only five servers at a time simultaneously. It will do 5 simultaneously connections at a time, okay? So it means it's a fork connection. So let's dissect this here. So this is a command, okay? And then this is all. Okay, and okay, and this is module. And this is the module. So -m means use module. And then which module we're going to use? We're going to use the shell module. type module, and then -a. I need to find out what is -a is. Okay, hold on.
You got accepted.
A stands for accept.
That's what you said earlier.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, but at this moment I'm having a problem here. Why would Winshell Ansible shell module? Okay. Ansible command string always Okay, so let's see here. Playbook, touch. Okay, yeah, ad hoc. Ad hoc command, you can give shell ad hoc method. Ansible -all. I want to see what is -a stands for. Okay, -a is argument, is it? -a wall hello to Ansible. The argument to the shell module. Here we have only excuse me. Okay, let's see here. Let me give this without a. I think a stands for argument. Okay, yeah, good. Let's see here. A is module argument. M is module name. And A is module argument. Okay. What does argument means? Argument means argument, okay? I don't know. Is there a better term you guys could think of what argument means in this scenario here? Linux command. Argument, I'll put it /option. Option
So
to follow.
basically a parameter. Sir.
Yeah, parameter. Argument, parameter, or command to follow. And what is the command which is following? The command which is following is uptime. A hyphen indicates command to follow. Okay, and then the Linux command. Okay, so host file. So it's reading the file name. So etc Ansible host. Okay, and use the module means -m, and type is shell, and indicates the command to be used, and which is uptime. Okay. All right, so let's move forward here. So we used uptime here. We could still use ping here. Let's see here. In here we could do ping. Now we are not pinging from here. We're connecting here. And from here, then you are pinging to other servers. So let's ping this server itself. So we'll tell the ping this server, okay? Ping once, ping -c means count how many times 1, and ping this server. Okay, so let's do that. Unrecognized argument ping C. PING. I have to give -a. Now it should work. Okay, yeah, it worked. Okay. All right, now sky is the limit here. Okay, now we know how to do this here. Now what we could do is ls. So it's going to connect. Where is this going to connect? It's going to connect to the default ls directory here. It's going to log in as root, and it's going to do ls here. So all this should bring Anaconda in there, or the default files in there. See, all of them got an Anaconda in there. So it's starting at number 6, right? It's doing the 5 simultaneously. So what it's doing is it's connecting to 5 at the same time, and it does the 5 in the batches. It does in the batches of 5. Okay, so how do you fix that? If you want to run all of them at the same time, you have to do -F and then how many servers? You got 6 servers, so you give 6. So now it's not going to give a hiccup here. It's going to do 6 simultaneous connection. But in the real world scenario, don't go more than 20 or 30 simultaneous connections, because it will time out. Okay, so now I want everybody to give me their favorite command, and we're going to run it here. Everybody. Sahil, what's your favorite command other than the one we already used?
Just nothing favorites.
Well, give me a command. You don't want to do lsblk. Okay, let's do lsblk. Okay, so it's connecting to all the 6 servers, and then it's going to give lsblk. So the output is going to be too much. So what you could do is you could redirect the output. There you go. It did 5 and 6. So do you see how this is working here? Instead of connecting to each freaking computer, you're just running one command from one place and getting all the information here. Okay? lsblk. If you do lsblk, you get the output here. Same exact output as if you would log into each computer and run the commands. So let's do blk id. There you go. See right here, it's a blk id here. Alright, let me clear this, and let's do df-h. Okay, now the sky is the limit here. Let's do init 6. I'm going to freaking restart all the computers here. Don't do at work here, you probably get fired. Especially, you see all the computers going to restart because we ran the command here. See? All the computers are running, restarting here. Why? Because we told them to restart.
If you wanted to update all of the Ansible versions, how would you be able to do that from that command?
You tell me. We just need to simply replace one thing somewhere, right?
Yeah, would it be open quote, yum, update, -y?
Yep, that's it. Yep, yum update y. Let's do free -h when it comes back up. Okay, the first one is not there yet. Okay, let's run it again. It should be there now. Okay, so it's all there. So let's see here. Let's do ls-l into some other directory here, okay? ls-l, where do you want to do this? Into, let's see here, etc. is going to list the etc for a directory of all of them. So for example, if you log in here, so now what it did was it did this etc for all the servers. And it gives you this information here, right? It's too much information here. What I'm doing here now?
You're redirecting to output.
Yep. You're not going to see anything. All it's going to go into the file here. So now if you could do to six computers, you could do it to thousands of other computers. Okay, so you do ls, and then where is the output file? Uh-oh. I think output file already existed. And you see here that all the output is here. What is it? Set numbers, right? Yeah, you see 200. So you have 1,000 line of data here. Okay, so now okay, now how, okay, let me go ahead and run a few more commands here that I usually run. Is like host name.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so you're running this Ansible Ad Hoc Commands using the user root, right?
Yeah.
So suppose in the companies they won't provide us the root access to run this Ansible stuff, right? So in that case, we can add a user and give root privileges to that particular user and ask Ansible to use that particular user to execute the
Yeah,
commands.
exactly. So what happens is if you are a Linux admin, you automatically have a root access and a sudo access. So normally, I think I showed you when we were setting up the SSH, you log in as a
Yes, yes,
regular user
exactly.
and switch as root.
Yes. So, sir, I have one question. Suppose there are hundreds of servers, and uh, the default the root will be the user, but they want us to add those suppose a Sayed on those 100 servers. So we have to go manually and add that my name Sayed on those servers and give root privileges, and then we can execute the Ansible commands, right?
Yeah, you have to set up what we did all these things here. Most
Yeah.
environment, everything is already set up.
Yes.
Okay, most environment, a lot of things are already set up. But if you
Okay, but
go,
if we want to set up from scratch, we need to follow all
yeah,
these
follow this here.
processes, correct?
This is a all this is going to be a time consuming process here. Once it's done, then it's all over.
Yeah.
You just have to, this part is already automated here, all these commands. You're not sitting there and doing, you're not sitting there and then going crazy there.
Okay. And we can, we can write a script and say that add these keys to that particular user's home directory or known host directory or whatever it is. Correct?
Yep,
Authorization.
exactly.
And
So what you can do is
and
you could copy it.
yeah, we can copy it. And
You could copy
also
the
we can
script.
write.
Yeah, go ahead.
We can also write a playbook, right, to copy all the SSH keys to that user. And but my question is, sir, if we developed a playbook and still it will ask for a password, right, to execute.
That's what I'm saying here. You have to set up SSH passwordless. You have to set up SSH passwordless because we set up SSH passwordless here because it's not asking the password one time each time.
Yeah.
We went through this process once. That's the key is once you are a root user, you could literally do anything. You have a full access. So I think I mentioned one time if you're getting a job, you should mention in the job question to the
Yeah.
employer if this position has a root access. And if they say, no, you don't have a root access, you will have a working level 2 or something. No, don't take that job. I'm preparing you guys for level 3 and above, okay? Not level 1, level 2.
Okay.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
yeah. So, very
So
first thing you say is like, is this position a root access? It says, yes, then continue on with the interview. And it says, no, this is not a root access admin position. It says, we are done here and hang up. Okay, because they will be chasing you. You won't be chasing the job, okay? Believe me. They have,
okay.
you
Yeah.
are,
Yesterday I wrote a playbook. You know.
what? Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
go through
Yesterday I
step.
wrote a playbook.
Yeah, you're jumping the gun. We'll do step by step how to write a playbook too. Is that what you asked? You have a question about the playbook?
No, no, no. Yesterday, I myself wrote a playbook to add users and copy the super user SSH keys to authorize file and everything like that. But it was asking me for uh, to become a password, so I have to provide the passwords manually while running the playbook. You know, so
Did you
I'll
set
I'll
up?
share you the play. I'll share the playbook with you and
But yeah, did you set up passwordless to begin with? before you running the playbook.
No, sir, what I was trying to do, I was not trying to access the user using root. So
Okay,
I created a user called Sayed.
and
I
you
made it a master server, and then I created
no,
four
before
nodes.
that, the root should also the this SSH key as a root should already be established. Then you could do the sudo.
Mhm.
You were using Sayed and you're giving yourself a sudo access, right?
Yes, yes, I gave that.
Okay, you might want to check if Ansible automatically has a sudo access or not. If not, then you might have to play around here. But this
Yeah, it
file,
was saying to become a sudo.
yeah. So in the command you say become. But
Yes.
hold on, we'll just we'll wait for this discussion later on because I don't want to confuse other guys. And
Sure, sure, sure.
yeah, because I want to go step by step and complete this process before we move forward. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Sorry.
so I'm gonna stop here now, and then everybody. So play around. You will get a kick out of this. Hey, how I could be able to do all these things here simultaneously. So this is just the few examples. Here. Sky's the limit. Believe me, sky's the limit. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna end here. I'm gonna upload the video soon as I can. I will go from there. We'll meet next week. Any questions? Put the question in the chat and then I'll answer it there. All right. Everybody have a good week.